Okay, hello and welcome everybody.
Hi everyone. Hi.
Here we
Welcome.
are.
Here we
Okay,
are
so Kate, how are you
again.
today?
I am very well today. I am very well. I am, however, very cold. The weather
I'm
is
cold
very
too.
cold today. So
Yeah, it's
I'm
cold
very
here in
cold.
Spain as well.
Yeah, no, I'm very, very cold. But I'm very, very well. I'm healthy, I'm happy,
Good.
and I'm busy. And how are you, David?
I am also very well. I would go so far as to say I am fantastic.
Oof. Wow.
Yes,
Okay. Wow.
because I am
Well, you
here,
win.
we're teaching and we're talking about education, and I love education.
Yes, you do. No, I do too. I do too. Well, we
Mhm.
both work in this profession. We are both teachers, but
Yep,
in general, educators, you can say. Teachers is good, but also educators. And we are both educators. So, yes, this activity is perfect for us.
perfect for us. And I see that we are no longer alone.
Ah, fantastic. Hi. Hi, Matija. Matija, excuse me if my pronunciation is
I'm not
bad.
sure how you would say that. Mattia?
It's a wonderful name. Any pronunciation, it's a fantastic name.
Absolutely.
Ah, and you're from Trieste. Fantastic. Well, it's very nice
Welcome.
to see you. Welcome, welcome to today's activity. And how are you today, Mattia? Are you cold like me, or are
And
you
me.
inside and warm?
Well, I know what can help us to get warm, Kate. I think
Okay.
talking about education will be a good way to get warm. So let's see what we are going to do today.
Fantastic. Excellent. Let's do that.
Could you read for me, Kate?
Yes. Okay. So, education. In this focus activity, simple past, past school experiences, there was, there were.
Nice, nice.
Fantastic.
Kate, could you give me an example of simple past?
Ooh, so the simple past is used to speak about a specific moment in the past.
Mm,
The time is finished and the activity is finished.
ah,
So, for example, for me, I can say this morning, so finished time, because now it's the afternoon.
yep.
This morning, I studied Italian.
Oh, did you? Good.
This morning, I studied Italian. So, in the past simple, very often the past is with ed. So,
Mm,
in the present, I study. In the past, I studied.
fantastic. Thank you for that, Kate.
And
Actually,
you,
this
David?
morning, well,
What did
I
you do?
also studied. This morning, I studied Spanish because I'm here in Valencia.
Ah, fantastic. And I'm here in Florence. So it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow I study Spanish and you study Italian.
Ooh, I like that idea. And I see that as well as Spain and Italy, we have a guest from Lyon.
Oh,
Bruno has joined us. Welcome, Bruno.
fantastic. Hi, Bruno. Hi. What's
And we have Massimo Zannini from Bologna.
fantastic. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome. Wow, very interesting variety of locations. Welcome.
Mm. All right, Kate, let's jump to our first slide so that we can keep these guys learning.
Excellent.
So we've got some questions here. Let's have a look at what the questions are. Okay, Kate, could you read the introduction for me, please?
Absolutely. Education. Ask these questions in pairs.
Great. And question number one for us, Kate.
Question one. Did you like going to school when you were a child?
Hmm.
Ooh.
Well, for me, no.
No?
When
Really?
I was a child, I didn't like going to school because I wanted to stay outside all the time because I
Ah,
love the grass and I love trees. and I didn't want to go into the school to study. How about you,
Okay.
Kate?
So it depends. It depends on the school at the time. For example, I liked going to school when I was in elementary school, primary school.
Ah, okay.
I didn't like going to school in high school when I was a teenager.
Mm.
I didn't like high school.
Now, I noticed that you said elementary school and primary school. Now,
Mm.
what's the difference between those two?
So, I'm English. I'm
Mm.
from England, like you, David.
Like me?
And in the UK, in England, you usually say primary school
Mm.
or first school for elementary.
Ah,
Elementary school is American English.
now, that would be why it sounded interesting to me. And if I'm correct, I think we're going to learn some more about these English and American school names later on. For now, I can see that Bruno did like going to school,
Ooh,
but
lucky man.
Massimo didn't like it. But Massimo, I've seen you in these lessons before, Massimo. Welcome back. So, Massimo, remember when we say I for the person, we need to use that capital I. And here we would say, no, I didn't like. Mm. We need another word. No, I didn't like. What would we put next?
So,
So,
after like, you have two
mm,
choices. What's the first choice, David? Remind me.
well, because we're talking about going to school, if I want to give a long answer, I could say, no, I didn't like going to school.
Fantastic. So, after the word like, you can use verb with ing. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we can use that ing form. But
Okay.
you could also use I didn't like to go to school. It is correct.
Okay.
Maybe less common though. For me, I would normally say like going. How about you?
I would say liked going. I prefer verb with ing after like.
Me
It's
too.
more simple.
Mm. And then what if I want to give a short answer to that question?
So, when we ask a question and the first word is do in the present or did in the past, you can give a short response.
Oh,
You can say simply yes or no. For
oh,
example, David, do you like cooking?
yes.
Fantastic. Do
Great.
you like skiing?
Yes.
And did you like reading when you were a child?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Wow, we
really
have a
good.
lot of interesting people in the comments
I
today.
really do.
Alessio says, no, I didn't love the school because when I was a child, I was a troublemaker. Wow, Alessio, fantastic.
Alessio,
That is
me
brilliant.
too.
You and David, Alessio, you are the same. Now, troublemaker, fantastic word, Alessio, fantastic word. Now, troublemaker is a noun. So you don't need very. You can say, I was a troublemaker and finish. That's
Mm.
fantastic. What does a troublemaker mean, David, if you are a troublemaker?
Ooh, well, because I was a troublemaker, I know. A troublemaker is normally a student or a person who does things which are bad, often at school. For example, if you talk a lot in your classes while your teacher is talking, maybe you would be called a troublemaker. Or
Mm,
maybe if you are a student who likes to throw pens at other students, and generally, if you are bad at school, you are a
ah,
troublemaker.
there you go.
Really,
There you go.
vocabulary, Alessio.
Really good. Now, Mattia says that they liked going to school, which is fantastic. And in fact, they are now a teacher. So there you go. Mattia, I also liked going to school in general, and now I am a teacher. So I understand.
I liked secondary school. By secondary school, I liked it.
Okay, fantastic. Now, Bruno says that his school was near his home. In fact, Massimo has the same experience, that his school was near his home. That's very interesting. I traveled a long way to arrive at my school. What about you, David? Did you travel to get to school?
Well, for primary school, I didn't travel very far because my primary school was very close to my home. But I did travel a long way, almost an hour on the bus to go to secondary school because my secondary school was in a different town.
Ooh, me too. The same experience. My secondary school was in a different location.
Wow, there you go.
Fantastic. Now we have Pasquale. Pasquale, hi, welcome. He says, I liked to go to school when I were a child. Now, because the subject is I, it would be not were, when I was a child. When I was a child. Fantastic. And his school was 15 minutes from his house. Yeah, that's not too bad, Pasquale. Did you go on the bus, or did you walk, or did you cycle? How did you arrive to your school, guys?
And let's move on to this last question then. So what didn't you like about the school? I'm sure we'll have some good answers for this one. So Kate, what didn't you like about your school?
So I didn't like the uniform. I didn't like the uniform. In English schools, we almost always wear a school uniform. In American schools, I think they don't wear school uniforms. I think they wear any clothes. But in England, usually there is a uniform. And I didn't like my school uniform. And you, David, what didn't you like about school?
To be honest, I didn't like some of my teachers.
Really?
Yes. Some of my teachers were very, very good. But there were some teachers that I did not like very much. I won't say which teachers because maybe my teachers will see this video.
Oh no, we must be silent.
So, it's a secret.
Okay. Now we have Myes Padova joining us. Hi, guys.
Welcome.
Myes Padova says, I liked going to primary school. Senior school was not so fun. My school was in a small, busy town called Sutton Coldfield. I've visited Sutton Coldfield. I went there. They also say my secondary school was down the road from my house. It was a very easy journey.
What do we mean by down the road, Kate?
Yeah. So if something is down the road, you mean it's nearby, not far, but it's not very specific. It's very general.
Okay.
We also have some comments from Pasquale. He says, you walked to school, Pasquale. Okay. So walk is like study. In the past, it's walked. So you can say, I walked to school is great. Alessio says his school was in his neighborhood. This is fantastic, Alessio. This is similar to down the road. Down the road, in my neighborhood. Very
always
similar.
To say that it's close by, right?
Absolutely, in the vicinity.
Great stuff.
Nice. Now Bruno says, I didn't like music because the teacher was very severe.
Again, really good vocabulary, Bruno.
Wow. Okay, what does severe mean, David?
Severe. When I hear severe for a teacher, I think very strict.
Fantastic. This is a really good word.
So maybe the teacher has lots of rules, or the teacher will tell you off a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they will shout at you.
And in fact, Matthias says, my teacher was bad. So unfortunately, this is a typical experience for you guys. I'm so sorry. You had bad teachers. I'm sorry.
Now, going back to that comment from Myes Pavlova, she talked about senior school. Now, I think now would be a really good time for us to have a look at some of the other schools.
Fantastic.
So here we have some different types of school. Now, would you say that most of these are the English ones or the American ones, Kate?
So let me read and then let's see if I can work it out, if I can discover. Okay, levels of school. Kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, university.
Yeah.
Now, for me, this is a combination. This is a big mix of American vocabulary and British vocabulary.
Absolutely. I mean, I recognize some of these words and others I have seen in films.
Yes, me too. American films, American TV. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Hollywood.
Yes, indeed.
So, in that case, what do you think these different schools are? For example, in A, what do you think that school could be?
Okay, so I agree with Mattia. I think that A could be middle school. I think A is middle school because I think that middle school is for students who are more or less 12 to 15 years old, maybe 12 to 16.
Yeah,
maybe.
So then in British English, we would probably say secondary school for these, right?
Exactly. However, it's more confusing. Are you ready for more confusion?
Yeah.
So in England, sometimes there are two schools, primary and secondary.
Yes.
After you go to high school, maybe, or college and university. But my schools were three: primary school or first school, middle school, and then high school or secondary school. So more confusing. So I went to middle school for 4 years and then high school. It's not so common. It's quite rare now for 3 schools, but for me, 3 schools.
Okay, because see, I went to primary school first, like you.
Okay.
But then when I was 10, 11, I went to secondary school.
Okay. So how many years in primary school and how many years in secondary school?
I should know that, but I can't remember how old I was when I started school. I know I finished primary school when I was 10 or 11. I was about to turn 11. And I finished my secondary school when I was 7, 8, 9, 10. 15. I think I finished when I was 16 because I actually went to college after that.
Okay. Yes. College is very important. Let's talk about college after we decide these pictures.
Absolutely. So looking at B then, what do we think B could be?
Okay.
What do we think B could be?
B could be, well, I think Pasquale might have it, as well as Mattia. Mattia says B could be kindergarten. I agree. And Massimo has all of them. You're really keen, Massimo. Fantastic.
Great work.
So I think B is kindergarten. Now, in Florence, we have a school called kindergarten. But
I remember.
It's not a real kindergarten. It's actually a middle school, but it's the name. Kindergarten for me is for very, very young children. Very, very young children. But we don't call this kindergarten in the UK, do we, David? What do we call it in the UK?
No, well, for very, very young children, I remember before I went to primary school, I went to nursery.
Yeah, same for me. Mine was called
Oh, nice.
nursery or nursery school. Either
Yes.
way, yeah, I think is more in the UK, but I think the same age, maybe 3, 4, 5 years old.
Mm. Yeah, so speaking of ages, we have an expert in the crowd here. So
Oh wow,
Paloma Myes has given us the ages, which I could not remember.
fantastic!
So
Thank
for
you.
primary school, from 5 to 10 or 11, I got the 10 or 11.
Got the 10 or 11.
And
It's true.
then going into secondary school from ages around 11 to 16.
Fantastic.
And then 16 to 18 is when you get your qualifications. So, for
Mm.
example, I got my A levels when I was in college, which would be this time.
Okay, fantastic. We also
Yeah.
have some age clarified by Ros Watts, who says middle school is age 8 to 12 years. So
There you
I was
go.
very wrong. I remembered very badly. So 8 to 12 at middle school in probably in America and in the UK. It's the
There you
same.
go. So then that brings us on to picture C. What do we think that is?
So I think Pasquale has the answer. I think it could very well be C. I think it's high school. Mattia also, fantastic, has C. That's brilliant.
Great stuff.
So for me, high school is a very American expression. What about you, David?
Yeah, I wouldn't normally use high school, and I still sometimes get confused about the ages, but I think high school would be secondary school for me.
I agree with you. I think that high school is an American idea, an American system. And I think in the UK, we would call it secondary school, yes.
Yeah. And then what about picture D? What do you think that could be, Kate?
So D looks like our first discussion. I think that D is probably elementary school. I think it's elementary school. Again, in the UK, we say primary or first school, but in America, they say elementary school. So,
yeah. And actually, in my primary school, we had a special part at the beginning of primary school, which was called reception. So my first year at primary school was called reception.
Me too.
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
So, in the UK, the first year of primary school is called reception. Do you know why? I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess that it's because it's when they receive you into the school.
Yes, of course. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, we're nearly done. That just leaves us one educational facility. What could it be?
Oh, God.
Tricky one to guess.
No idea. Oh my God. Help, guys. Help. No. Okay. So I think Pasquale has it. I think it's probably university. Mattia also, fantastic work. Really, really good. So this is university. Now, university is definitely the way we say it in England, but not always in America. David, do you know what they say in America?
Yeah, so I know that they also use university in America, but they also sometimes say college. Is that right?
That is correct. So
Yeah.
they use the word college. It's also, again, more complicated because college in the UK is a location, but it's not university. College in the UK is like a high school, similar to a high school, to learn practical qualifications.
Yeah.
Things like plumbing, electric work, tourism, maybe animal care, lots of different practical subjects, not history and English and mathematics, but practical topics.
And also there is another type of college. So the college that I went to was called a sixth form college. And this is a type of college which replaces the last 2 years of secondary school. So instead of doing my A levels at secondary school, I did them in a sixth form college.
Guess what? Me too.
Kate, you've stolen my life.
I know. So David and I had a very similar experience of school. The biggest difference was I went to a middle school, but David did not. But
No.
everything else is very, very similar.
So, Kate, we've got a question on the screen again. Could I get you to read that for me, please?
Oh, so which school was your favorite?
Hmm.
Whew, difficult question. Guys, tell us, which school was your favorite?
Yeah, so we can see that for Bruno, his favorite school was University of Economy. Very, very nice.
Ooh, very interesting. Wow, economy. Very, very
I know I would not understand what you studied there, but it sounds very, very good.
Myes in Padova have very comprehensive analysis of our schools. I think,
Wow.
so I imagine this person is not American. I think in the States, it's kindergarten until 6 or 7, elementary school until 10 or 11, middle school is 11 to 13, junior high is 14 to 16, and high school 16 to 18. And apparently in Japan, they have a similar system. Very interesting. Wow. Okay.
I think I might know who this person is from that
I
Japan comment.
have some suspicions. I think I know this person. I think
Me
I know
too.
this person.
And we see that for Alessio, his favorite was high school. So that would be our secondary school.
Excellent, excellent. Mattia also, yeah.
Yeah, another fan of high school.
Excellent. And another one. Pasquale also was high school.
We all want to go back to high school.
We all loved high school. Yes, I think I liked the beginning and the end. I liked primary school and high school, but I liked middle school. It was okay. It was okay. And you, David, your favorite?
My favorite would definitely have been university. Because when I went to university, I felt like an adult because I lived in my own apartment with some flatmates, and I cooked my own food.
Nice.
I had a new timetable. So I had classes on some days, and some days I had no classes, which was very nice.
Fantastic. Nice. Now, there is one final thing on this slide that is quite interesting, and it's the way the word favorite is written. Is there anything strange about this word, David?
Well, for me, the word looks wrong. Now, I know it is not wrong, it is correct. But this is the American way of spelling the word. Kate, how would we spell it in the UK?
So we spell it almost exactly the same, but there is a U in it after the O.
Aha.
So they're both correct. They're both fine. But in the UK, we spell with a U.
Very nice. All right, let's jump forward. Getting into the school now. So we've got some subjects.
Okay. So subjects. Match the subjects to the pictures. Math, science, history, geography, art, music.
Fantastic. Now, again, we've got another interesting word on this slide, Kate.
Okay.
Is any of those words something that jumps out at you?
So, like before with favorite, something here for me, it's not quite right. And it's the word math. Math. There's something wrong here because I would say maths with
Me too. Me too.
Now, this is again the US way to say this subject. In the UK, we would say maths. Maths.
Okay, so it looks like we've already got some answers flooding in.
Oh my goodness, Mattia, woof, on fire.
Mattia is on fire.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Pasquale joining in. So we've got an answer for D as well. So it looks like our students know these ones already. So let's check. Kate, what do you think A is?
Okay, so I agree with Mattia. I think A must be art. This for me is very abstract art, quite modern art, but I think it could be art. Yes, I agree.
Nice. And did you like art when you were at school?
I loved art when I was at school. I loved art. And you? Did you like art?
Yeah, me too. When I was young, I remember one class where we listened to music and had to draw a picture connected to the music.
Oh,
And
wow.
I drew a forest made out of trumpets.
That's amazing. A trumpet forest.
A
That's
trumpet forest.
fantastic.
All right, moving on to B then. What do you think this would be?
So I agree with Pasquale, who says
Yes.
and Pasquale, thank you for the British spelling. We will accept the American or the British spelling, but personally, I thank you for the British. Oh, no, you used
the American spelling. Kate, you're lying to people now. You're lying. Dishonesty.
I didn't concentrate. I apologize. Well, I accept your answer anyway. I accept your answer anyway.
The important thing is it is correct.
It's correct.
And we cannot say that American English is wrong, even if sometimes I want to.
American English is perfect. It's perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Alrighty, moving on to C then.
So I think Pasquale's got it again. I would say that it is history, and Mattia had the same answer. This looks to me, what period of history do you think is in this picture, David?
Well, it's interesting. It looks like ancient Rome, but the tattoo looks quite modern.
I agree. The tattoo on the man's arm is maybe not ancient Rome, but I think the clothes are from ancient Rome.
And here we have a lovely question from Bruno. Yes, Bruno, I do play music. I play the guitar, and I started playing the guitar when I was in primary school.
Wow.
I was very bad. I am a little bit better now.
He's very, very good. David plays the guitar very well.
Thank you, Kate.
Okay. So what about
to D? Yeah.
Let's see if we've got some answers. We do. Pasquale, absolutely fantastic. Mattia, I agree as well. So guys, this pronunciation is really important. So the pronunciation, David, could you read this word for us?
I would say science.
Science. So guys at home, pronunciation is science.
And even though we can't hear everyone, I believe that they will say this with us. So Kate, should we try it after 3?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, science.
Science. Fantastic. Guys, that was beautiful pronunciation.
I'm sure everybody said it perfectly.
I'm sure you did.
All right, that brings us on to E.
E. Okay, so E looks like music. I think music. This looks like classical music to me. Again, Mattia, Pasquale, fantastic work. Brilliant, brilliant. And Massimo, Kate. Fantastic, really good.
Oh, wow. And Kate, now I know that for some people, these letters can be really confusing as well.
True.
So I know that a good way for me to remember them has always been that E is like in email.
Very, very good. So email. Okay.
Exactly. And then the I is like in iPhone.
Oh, iPhone, email. Yes.
I'm very technological, you see.
This is very good. In fact, especially in Italy, maybe also in Spain, many European languages, the vowels A, E, I, O, U can be very complicated to remember the correct pronunciation. I like that.
Absolutely.
Good tip, David. Good tip. iPhone, email. Perfect.
Okay, so that brings us to a letter which is easier to pronounce, which is F. And it's the last one. So what would you say this is, Kate? Do we have any answers?
We certainly do. We have lots of correct answers. So Massimo, I agree. Perfect. It's geography. I agree. Yes, Pasquale, fantastic. Also geography. Mattia, brilliant work, guys. Yes, this for me is geography.
Great stuff. Now, what I'd really like to see is if we can have any questions about these topics. So, guys, write your questions in the comments, either in the present or, if you can, try a question in the past.
Fantastic. Oh, Roz is leaving us. Thanks for coming, Roz. Have a lovely day. Bye
Hi,
bye.
Rose.
Fantastic.
So, for me, with these subjects, I would say that my favorite subject of all of them was probably music.
Ah, okay. What? Let me ask you about your teacher, because today we heard a lot of sad stories about bad teachers.
Yes.
Did you have a good music teacher? Did you have a good music teacher?
I did. When I was young, I didn't like my music teacher. But now that I am older, I understand that he was a very good teacher. Because
Ah,
the classes were difficult, and so I found it hard. But he was a good teacher, and I learnt a lot from him.
fantastic. That's really, really good. That's very
Mm.
positive.
What about
Okay.
you, Kate?
I think my favorite subject here was art.
Ah, nice.
Art or history. I like history very much, and I had a fantastic history teacher. So I think art for myself, history for my teacher.
Okay, good. And in your art classes, what did you do?
Ooh, lots and lots of things. We made sculptures. I like sculpture. So I enjoyed creating sculptures from clay. And we did a lot of printing,
Oh,
creating
cool.
creating stamps and printing designs with stamps. I enjoyed that very much.
Hmm. And that brings us to Alessia with a lovely question.
Excellent.
What was your favorite teacher?
Ooh, okay.
Now, this is a good question, but for me, I would maybe ask it in a slightly different way.
Hmm.
I would ask it with a question word for people.
Question word for people. Ah,
Mm.
who?
Yes.
Who? So, who was your favorite teacher, David?
Actually, my favorite teacher was a man called Mr. Mansfield in primary school.
Fantastic.
And he left my school, he retired, and I still have a newspaper article with a photo of me and Mr. Mansfield from the local newspaper.
Oh, fantastic. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. And what subject did he teach?
He was the PE teacher.
Ah, ooh, PE. What's PE,
Mm.
David?
So, a new subject for you here. PE is physical education. It's where you play football and basketball and rounders, which is like baseball, but the game that we play in the UK.
Ah, yes, I had a good PE teacher too. She
Ah,
was really kind and fun.
nice. But who was your favorite teacher? You said you liked your history teacher, right?
I liked my history teacher, but my favorite teacher was my primary school teacher. Her name
Ah,
was Mrs. Lake. Mrs. Lake. And
ah,
she was very scary if we were troublemakers,
yeah,
but she was really fantastic and fun.
great, great.
So we have some lovely comments here. Bruno says, my favorite subject was history and geography. I think it's the reason why now I like to travel. Fantastic, Bruno. That's wonderful.
Mm,
Yes, I think the subjects we like in school can have a big influence on the adult we become.
absolutely.
So I agree with you. Pasquale also says, I had a good history teacher. Fantastic, nice. Pasquale, and very good irregular past.
Yeah.
Because have in the past is had. So that's fantastic, Pasquale. Brilliant. Great work, guys. Really, really good.
And some really nice questions. We can see that the questions on our materials, we've already had some of those questions.
Perfect.
So we've talked about our favorite subject. We've had who was your favorite teacher. But then we have what was your least favorite subject? So Kate, what was your least favorite subject?
My least favorite subject was PE, was physical education. I like some sport and I like some activities, but I hate running. And we always were running in PE, just running. So I didn't like PE very much. And you, David, what was your favorite or least favorite subject?
My least favorite subject was geography. Now, I think geography is very interesting as a subject, but I had a bad geography teacher at school, so I didn't like it.
Okay, this is a common thought today. It's a bad teacher is a bad subject.
Yes. So hopefully today English is a good subject.
I hope so. I hope.
All right, fantastic stuff. So here we have some really interesting questions. Kate, could you read those questions for me, please?
So, was and were. Question number 1. What was your favorite teacher like? Number 2, what were your friends like? Number 3, how many students were there in your class? Question number 4, what were you like as a student? Number 5, what were you good at? And number 6, how was your school? Wow.
Good stuff.
Okay, so was and were. What is the difference between was and were, David?
So here it depends who you are talking about. So for example, if I want to say something about me, I would say I was. If it's about you, I would say you were.
Okay. And then, what about the third person?
So for third person, we have he, she, and it was. For third person singular.
Okay.
Then we have we and they were. Okay.
So singular is was and plural is were. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, good.
Okay.
So, Kate, I have a question for you using that third person singular. What was your favorite teacher like? So, this question is about description. Sometimes we see like in English and you think, preference. I like cooking. I like chocolate. But in this question, it's not preference, it's description. Okay. So, what was your favorite teacher like means, can you describe your favorite teacher? Excellent. What was their personality? So, my favorite teacher was fun and very, very loud. She had a very loud voice, but she was very enthusiastic. Okay. And you, David, what was your favorite teacher like? He was very energetic. He was always moving. He was also very, very loud. But okay. When he was angry, he got very, very quiet. So you knew that if the teacher was speaking very quietly, you were in trouble.
Oh, scary, very
Yes.
scary. Oh
Yes.
no, oh no. Okay, my teacher was the opposite. If she was
Okay.
angry, she was very loud. She was always loud.
So we have a
Okay,
great comment here from
yes,
Alessio. My favorite teacher was the PE teacher because he was very fun, really good, excellent past.
fantastic. We also have Matthias saying, my favorite subject was art because my teacher was really good. Yeah,
Mm.
fantastic, Matthias, great. And Bruno, also my French favorite teacher, was very helpful. Okay, so
Ah.
I believe your teacher was your French teacher. Is that correct? Uh,
Mm.
this was the subject of your teacher was French. Very helpful. That's fantastic. So really
Very important.
important. Aha, there you
Mm.
are. Very important for a teacher. Very
Yes.
important. But Pasquale says least favorite was philosophy. Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. Philosophy, it's a profound, heavy subject. You need a very kind teacher, I think, for
Yes.
philosophy.
Yes.
And Alessio back again, my favorite teacher. We had before because it was so fun.
It's
Sorry,
just
Alessio.
so good. We need
I
to
love
see
your
it
comments
twice.
so much.
Great, Alessio. Okay, so another question. What were your friends like?
Ooh,
This could be a really dangerous question. Some of them might be watching.
My friends were fantastic. No, in fact, my friends were fantastic, but very quiet because
Mm.
actually, in fact, I am a very timid person. So
Ah.
my friends were also quite timid, intelligent, and quiet. And you,
Okay.
David, what were your friends like?
My friends were also very loud. And my friends, like me, were also troublemakers at school.
More troublemakers. Naughty,
Yes.
naughty, terrible, very bad.
But I am very good now, and I am
Ah,
sure that they are too.
no, I believe you. I believe you.
So, what about your
Excellent.
classes, Kate? How many students were there in your class?
So, in my primary school, the class was very small, maybe 10 or 11 students. But in middle school and high school, sometimes 20 or 25 students. And you, David, how many students were there in your class?
Yeah, it was the same for me. In my class, there were about 20 or 25 students when I was in secondary school. So
Okay.
we were big classes.
Big classes, yes.
Yeah.
I think in the UK we often have big classes. I think it's
Hmm.
quite normal. Yeah.
Yeah. But that is why we are very lucky now working at my English school because we have nice small groups
Absolutely. Very, very small. Much better for personal attention from the
and
teacher.
conversation.
Yeah. Okay, what about question number 4, David?
Hmm.
What were you like as a student?
Well, as we've said, I was a bit of a troublemaker. Um,
Ah,
and the adjective I would use for myself would be naughty. I was a naughty student.
ooh, excellent vocabulary. Okay, David, what's the opposite of a troublemaker?
Well, there are lots of ways you can say it. You could say they were good, but
Mhm.
a good phrase you can use is a goody two shoes.
Ooh, what is a goody two shoes?
So a goody two shoes is a student who is very, very good, very well behaved. They always listen to the teacher, but normally it is a word you would use to make fun of that student when you laugh at that student for being too good.
Yes, like goody two shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And Kate, what were you like as a student?
I was a goody two shoes.
Ah, goody two
I
shoes,
was
goody two shoes.
I was also a bit of a teacher's pet.
Ah,
Do you know
okay.
what a teacher's pet is, David?
Yeah, so the teacher's pet is someone who likes to have a very good relationship with the teacher. They always listen to the teacher. They are like the model student, like an angel in the class.
Yes.
Mm.
However, honestly, quite annoying for the teacher. Always like, how are you? What are you doing this weekend? Oh, wow, your lesson was fantastic. So
Thank you, Kate. Now go home.
like a mosquito, like go away, leave me alone.
Okay, so unfortunately, we are running out of time. So let's see if we can get these last two questions in before we finish. So, Kate, what were you good at school?
I was good at English and history because I'm
Ah,
good at writing and reading. And you, David,
interesting.
what were
So I
you good
noticed that after good at, it's like we use that ing again. So good at doing, right?
at? Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
And
So
you, what were you good at?
I was good at basketball because I was good at
Ah,
running very fast.
interesting. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, very general question. How was your school? How was your school in general?
It was okay. It was good. It was a small school, but there were lots of nice people in it. How was your school?
Yeah, I think the same. Usually I went to small schools and generally good. My memory of school is mostly really positive.
Nice. And Mattia was also good at basketball.
Fantastic. Oh, cool. Great work, Ratia. Brilliant.
And with that, I'm afraid we have to finish off. So thank you everyone so much for coming to our class. I hope you had a good time and I
Thank you
hope you
so
learned a lot.
much.
And Kate, it was lovely to see you as ever.
Lovely to see you too, David. Guys, have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, and
Yes.
see you in the next webinar. We hope. Mwah!
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys. Bye.